जय श्री माता जी। हम सभी परम पूजनीय माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी के चरण कमलों पर नतमस्तक होकर प्रणाम करेंगे और बंधन लेंगे। We'll all bow down at the holy lotus feet of Shri Mata Ji and take bandhan. तीन महामंत्र और श्री गणेश मंत्र। अब हम संतुलन के लिए अपने दाएं हाथ को भूमि माता पर रखेंगे और बाएं हाथ को श्री माता जी की ओर। For balancing, we will place our right hand on Mother Earth and left hand towards Shri Mata Ji. प्रार्थना करेंगे, श्री माता जी कृपा करें और आप हमारे हृदय में विराजिए। कृपा करें और आप हमारे इच्छा शक्ति को प्रकाशित कीजिए। श्री माता जी, please be seated in our hearts. Please enlighten our desires and make it pure. अब हम अपने दाएं हाथ को श्री माता जी की ओर करेंगे और बाएं हाथ को उठाकर आकाश की ओर करेंगे। We'll place our right hand towards Shri Mataji and raise our left hand towards the sky. प्रार्थना करेंगे, श्री माता जी कृपा करें और आप हमारे चित्त में आइए। कृपा करें और आप हमारे क्रिया शक्ति को प्रकाशित कीजिए। श्री माता जी, please come in our attention. Please enlighten all our actions. Let all our actions be surrendered at your holy lotus feet. Shri Mata Ji, you are verily the doer and the enjoyer of all things. अब हम अपने बाएं हाथ को श्री माता जी की ओर करेंगे। We'll place our left hand towards Shri Mata Ji. Our attention on Sahasrar. चित्त को सहस्त्रार पे रखते हुए प्रार्थना करेंगे, श्री माता जी कृपा करें और आप हमारे सहस्त्रार पर विराजिए। कृपा करें और आप हमें ध्यान की गहनता और आनंद प्रदान करें। श्री माता जी, प्लीज बी सीटेड ऑन आवर सहस्त्रार। Please bless us with the joy and the depth of meditation. इसी ध्यान अवस्था में हम श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी आत्मसात करेंगे. We'll continue to be in the meditative state and listen to Shri Mataji's speech.
If they are baniyas, they'll sit together. If that is not so, then by another name they'll group together. This is the worst curse of my country. Because once you start grouping together, you can never see the good of others and you can never see the bad of yourself. This grouping together can bring a lot of problems in this country. At the time of Christ, they had very different type of people. Either they were interested in spirituality or they were not. Now we have people here who are interested in spirituality, but still one leg is in the water, where age-old problems still exist. And this is the ruin of our country. We cannot combine together. We cannot be friends with each other. Of course, not in Sahaja. I must say, it has been solved very well. But if you see, even at the time of Christ, he had problems with his disciples. Especially something happened with Peter. And he is the one who said, Satan will meet you. Because I think people fall into the group of satanic forces. And he said that he removed the satanic devils from many people and put them in the pigs. It's true. There is a satanic force which is working very strong. The more we develop security of spirituality, the more they will develop. The satanic force is in a different form in the West and a different form in the East. But I would like to tell for them to be careful how to find out the satanic forces in the West. You may not be affected by that because you are realized souls, but you will have to fight it. You will have to fight it. For example, racialism. Racialism is still very powerful there, very, very powerful. And you have to fight racialism through marrying people who belong to other races. But still I find difficult to marry a black person to a white person. It's an impossible situation. If I try that, I don't know what happens. Once we had such a marriage, I must tell you. And a white lady, French lady, was married to a black man. Instead of the French lady dominating, this black man dominated. So I was quite surprised, how could that be? So the reason was, I think he was taking the revenge, maybe the respite. So first of all, tremendous love and affection has to grow between the peep. This color is so skin deep. It has nothing to do with the love inside. Nothing. It's so skin deep. Thank God in our country, you can have a wife who will be very dark, husband will be very fair, or the vice versa. But they never look at that from that angle. I don't think that exists in this country. But we have another kind. See, just is a typical human problem is that he discriminates through ego, which I must say Christ has tried to fight your ego. He was born in a very humble family. And he was not a white-skinned man, no. In your language, he was brown. But in Indian language, he was black. But when it comes to spirituality, you just see the enlightened one. You don't see what color they have the skin. It's very, very superficial. But this is one of the enemies of the Western life, I think, which must be conquered. Materialism is another one. But the worst of all, which is against Christ, is immorality. Immorality is so much accepted in the West. All kinds of immoral behavior is accepted. Like they say that all these immoral people say vote for somebody, he becomes the president of America. Then it's all right, doesn't matter. All kinds of immorality is allowed. But that is absolutely against Christ. Absolutely. People don't understand that immorality will lead them to a kingdom which I don't know what to call, because it's even worse than animal kingdom. And they are so immoral. They listen to people like Freud as if they have no brains, they have no spirit to take note of such a man. Only after Sahaja, model of Christ's life, you can have. Whatever is past is over and finished. Today, now, you are realized souls, and morality is your strength. Forget about the past, and I'm sure you can get many more people under the banner of Sahaja if you lead a very, very moral life. At the same time, another very bad enemy we have is our anger. So, they are very proud. They'll say, I'll now get angry. You know, I'm very angry. They are not ashamed about it. And they go on saying that I'm very angry, as if it's not wrong to say I'm very angry. Now they say, I hate you. I mean, imagine any Indian language, if they use this word, it would be meaning I am committing sin. So all this aggressiveness comes from anger. If somebody has to be angry, he should be angry with himself. Best is to get rid of anger. You can pull your hair, you can bite yourself, you can use your pillow to hit yourself. That may be the best way of taking out your anger. But see, for what are you angry? Sometimes it's absolutely useless. Sometimes it has no meaning. Sometimes it's absolutely maddening, stupid. But as long as you stop saying, I am very angry, that's it. That's the time you should know you are falling down completely. So, Christ didn't talk of all the subtle things I have been talking to you because that was left to me. Without realization, how can you talk about subtler things? You cannot. Last time I told you about the vibrations. What is it? What does it stand for? And how you get the subtle energy which we call as tanmatra of our light, tejas, of water, jal and prithvi, agni. But I didn't tell you of one, very special one, which is in English language you call it ether. But ether is the energy which is managed by another tanmatra, we call it akash. It's especially today because it's Christ who has sacrificed his life to open our Agya Chakra, that we have reached that state of Akash. Without him, it would not have been possible. We can have general communication, like we can talk to people, we can say things, we can also use our fingers to express ourselves, our hands to communicate. But to communicate vibrations, you have to have vibrations. Otherwise, you cannot feel another person. But if you are at the Agya level, means you are mental, absolutely mental, then your vibrations also are dwindling in the sense you don't know what really they are saying. You can't judge your vibrations because these vibrations are mental. They'll say, Mother, we asked the vibrations. I said, really? But you don't have any vibrations, how can I ask the vibration? It's a very common thing. We asked the vibration, we found from the vibrations. It's not possible because you are just mental. Now, what Christ has done is to put you away from the mental level. That is the most difficult. While I am surprised, those who follow Christianity have the worst mental position. They are mentally absolutely there, like, I don't know what to call, like the fog of Delhi. That you can't cross. That's what was broken was Christ. How much we should be obliged to him that he removed the greatest hurdle in the human ascent. And that one was to break this agya, this mental being within us. We read like mad, we listen to people like mad, we like those who give us feed for our mental being. They are so mental, so argumentative, think no end of their intelligence, that you have to just say, all right, namaskar. You can't fight their mental attitude. That's why Christ is to be worshipped by people who are so very mental. And this mental nonsense has given such a sense of superiority to people. Oh, whatever we do, what's wrong? What's wrong? They cannot correct themselves. Because unless until you cross this limit of mental being, you cannot see yourself. You cannot introspect. You cannot see yourself. You will see others. The Sahajogis are like this, Sahajoga is like that, all kinds of things. But you can't see yourself because the whole thing is mental. This mental attitude should be completely curbed through the help of our Lord Jesus Christ. But He is also mental. In your brains, Christ is also mental. Now what to do? The one who broke the mental attitude is also a mental. You have made him into mental, like a statue of stone. So firstly, we have to tell ourselves, now don't think, don't think, don't think, don't think, 4 times. And then you can rise above. And this is very important. In meditation, you have to go beyond the mind. And thanks to Christ that He is sitting at the Agya to finish off this nonsense of mental being. I think people should stop reading also, perhaps, maybe. Even my lecture becomes mental. What to do? I mean, everything goes into their head, becomes mental somehow. And then they ask me questions, Mother, did you say it this way? What is the... I said, yeah, I said it to make you thoughtless, just to stun you. I didn't say this to sit down and analyze and do, no. I said this that you become absolutely shocked and stunned. So, the best thing for all of you is to become thoughtless. That's the blessing of Christ. That's what He worked it out for. And I'm sure, if you work it out, that don't pay attention to others. Don't react. Just don't react. Everything they will see, they'll react. What is the need? What is the use? What are you going to do with that reaction? This reaction creates nothing but ripple of thoughts in your mind. I have told you hundreds of times. And now you have to become absolutely thoughtless after this puja. If that happens, I think we have achieved a lot. That's the biggest blessing that Christ has given you, which you should really enjoy. Then only this Akash Tattva in you will work. And how it works? Through your attention. It works with me, as you know. With my attention, I work out many things. How? Just my attention has become thoughtless. Just thoughtless. It goes wherever it goes, it works. But if you put your attention for thought all the time, for thinking, then it doesn't do the work that it is supposed to do. Attention works marvelously if you are thoughtless, otherwise it does. So it has to rise from your own self, then from others, to the higher level of humanity, where you are in communication with the sky, with we can call it as the tanmatra or the essential or the essence of ether. With ether, you can have television, you can have telephone. It's a miracle otherwise. But with this tanmatra, sitting down here, you can do the job. It works. Just attention works. I know that. You also know very well. But you don't have to ask me to put the attention. You just put the attention and it will work. It's a very important thing that you have got. I think that is the first thing. Once you have, no problem. But we start manifesting from the earth element, then from the Agni element, then from the Jala element, and then we come to Tejas. The face starts shining. But lastly, we get this thoughtless awareness by which our attention is absolutely free to do some special work. But if you are all the time thinking, then poor this attention is so busy, so very busy. You don't have to ask me then, Mother, please pay attention. You can pay attention and you can work it out. In this attention, you don't feel what you bought, what you are standing, what you are wearing, what others are doing. No, nothing. You are one with yourself. And it's a life full of humor. So much humor. So much of joy. So much of happiness. That you don't care for anything that normally people care for. So, as it is now, Sahaja Yoga has worked in so many countries. I am so very proud of you, very, very proud. And now it is also going to African countries is a very great satisfaction for me. And you all can do it. You all can work it out. Only thing, become thoughtlessly aware as the blessing of Christ. If it works, you will be absolutely enjoying yourself. May God bless you.
जय श्री माता जी। परम पूजनीय श्री माता जी, आज के ध्यान और प्रवचन के लिए आपको अनंत कोटि धन्यवाद। श्री माता जी, thank you for blessing us with the joy of meditation. हम सभी श्री माता जी के चरणों पर नतमस्तक होकर प्रणाम करेंगे और बंधन लेंगे। We'll all bow down at the holy lotus feet of Shri Mata Ji and take bandhan. जय श्री माता जी।